Alright guys, we got a Toyota 4Runner, MisFire's cylinder 4. We got a code P0446 EWAP system vent control fault. But we're mainly looking at 304 cylinder 4 MisFire. So it misfires on a startup. So cylinder 4 is 1, 2, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on that right side, but we will figure out. That might not be a firing order, but we will check it out. Anyways, let's go into data. Okay, let's see if we can if this thing can display me misfire data. Because every startup it misfires, then it goes away. But let's see what this baby's doing today. And misfire data. There you go. And so we're checking misfire data on this baby. Let's look for the cylinders. Okay, so 6 cylinders. So we got all 6 cylinders right there. We're gonna start this engine up. Cylinder 4 misfire on a startup. Cylinder 2 misfire on a startup. So mostly we're gonna pay more attention to cylinder 4. Right now I feel a shake, and yeah, definitely. So we're gonna look into ignition coil. We already did the spark plugs. That's a lot of misfire. Now it went away. I feel it smooth. There you go. The system itself or it understood there's no misfire, and I feel no shake in the truck anymore. So it's only on a misfire on a startup. It could be a lot of things. It could be a leaking injector. It could be a lot of things, but we do need to tackle that ignition coil for a startup. So we'll order 1 coil, and then we will order that vent control valve. On this truck I did a lot of work, so only 1 valve is left. That's on the EWAP canister itself. So checking on my service manual here. So cylinder 4 is on the driver's side. This is the front of the vehicle. This is a 4.0 Toyota 4Rrunner 2004 4.0. So it's the middle cylinder. It's not 1, 2, 3. Like I said, Ford is not even 8 cylinders, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the passenger side. On the driver's side, the front of the engine, right in front of the close to the bumper, will be up in the front over here somewhere. So cylinder 2 and 4, and that's how we figure out. So it's right in the middle right there. So looking on the truck, cylinder 4 would be right in the center over there, and it could be oil. The valve cover is leaking, but it could be the ignition coil. We did change all the ignition coils, I remember, on these, but so we keep having that issue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to look for any oil or sign, and down the road be another video. So this is just a little bit of diagnostic. So pull off that coil and see if there's any oil around it. So if there's any oil in it, that would cause a misfire. But startup misfire is usually probably injectors. It could be the coil, it could be the plug, it could be a lot of things. But a simple little diagnostic, at least we know where the misfire is right there. We will take off that coil and see if there's any oil. Okay guys, got me ignition coil, Denso, part number. Love these coils, and they're like about 89 bucks. But anyways, cylinder 1 is on that side in the front, 2, 3 in the middle on the other side, 4. They're fairly easy to work on. You could do it right here. You don't have to remove anything. On that side, you do have to take off the intake duct pipe, the intake, and you might also change the filter with it. But anyways, long story short, we got a 10 millimeter here. We got a 10 millimeter bolt on top of that. I'm using the swivel head socket. I'm using the swivel with a 10 millimeter, and then I should be able to reach in there. I'm gonna switch hands. It's more easier with the left hand than the right hand. And nothing that camera needs to see, just a 10 millimeter on the top. And once I turn it, you can probably see what I'm doing from back over here. Probably now that coolant pipe is in the way. But anyways, here it is. 10 millimeter comes off the ignition coil. The connector, you just squeeze and pull off. Sometimes you need to use something like a screwdriver to lift up the thing, and that's what I might do now. So I go to my toolbox, get me a pick, and all we're gonna do is lift that connector tab from the back end, and then we should be able to go in there while it's holding there and take off this connector easily and fairly. And I still haven't got it yet, but I'm gonna need both hands, so guys, just pull it and it should come right off. Let me try it now because it still looks lifted. Yep, it's still lifted. I should be able to just remove it with this little guy. There you go. The connector is coming out, even though I didn't have to squeeze this no more because I lifted it already. But this guy is off. There you go. And let me switch hands. Let's pull off this ignition coil. So this is a warranty for my customer, because we changed them, and we always got to take a shot at a coil before we do anything else crazy, because you don't want to assume anything else is bad. Okay, this pipe will bother you, so if you want to remove it, remove it. And what I'm going to do here is squeeze this little guy, and we're going to take off that pipe. And then I forgot about that, because that's how I always done it. And now I got my coil stuck in this corner, and I didn't even remove it. And guess what? This guy is out. So no oil. And I know we got new spark plugs, so if you haven't got new spark plugs, change them. But this coil's gotta go. It could be a defect, it could be anything, but I don't see no oils or anything on this guy. So we'll take a new ignition coil and drop that in. Okay, so took this out of the bag. We got the new ignition coil, and this baby goes straight in there, same way we took off. Angle in that position, and then twist, turn, and it will reach to its spot. But if you take off this pipe, it should be much easier just by removing this air pipe here. But anyways, I'm gonna get this guy off. I'm gonna get this guy in, and then we will talk. But there you go, it's in there. The coil's in there. So take your number 10 and plug in your connector, tighten it up. After that, going more further, you might have to look into injectors. You might have to look into ignition coil. Well, we did the ignition coil. If you haven't done spark plugs, do spark plugs. But other than that, that's everything that you could do. Okay, and words come to words. Oxygen sensor, came across oxygen sensor will cause a misfire. But anyways, we're gonna go inside this vehicle. As soon as I'm done tightening that ignition coil number 10 bolt, we'll start it up together. It's a fresh start. This car has been sitting overnight. So my 10mm nut is on, and we're gonna take this guy and just snug it. I get in a good angle. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Gonna get that out, and we're gonna start her up. Okay, got my tools out, and we're gonna do a fresh start. The car's been sitting overnight, and we're gonna crank this baby up. We're not gonna check data log with the computer, but we should be able to feel it. I'll let you guys know. Yeah, we still got that misfire. Yup, it's still there, and it calms down. So that's how it is. And the check engine flashes. So the check engine flashes. So I'll give it another try next morning, because I know it's not gonna give us that same misfire again. If I shut it off and start it up, you see, it's not gonna give me that misfire now. It will not give me that misfire. Only on a startup. It could be leaking injectors, it could be anything, but I am gonna go a little bit further and not off the camera, look into injectors. And if I do it, we might replace them. The car has 300,000 miles on it, and as you can see right there, it has a 300,000 miles, 319,000 miles.